What's up? It's your girl FrumpyFit. If you don't know who I am, I'm an online weight loss coach who's dedicated to calling out all the BS in the fitness industry and providing you with accurate fitness, nutrition, and weight loss information. Today I am reacting to Jaclyn's first video in what I think is going to be a series of her embarking on a weight loss journey. And most of the reactions I do are me reacting to how somebody already lost weight. So this will be very interesting. I can't wait to see what her approach is going to be and what her first experience is with attempting weight loss. I have a feeling I'll be sharing a lot of what I think she might be able to do a little bit differently to set herself up for success a little bit better. Now, as usual, I know virtually nothing about the person that I am reacting to, so this is not a reaction to them. This is a reaction to the information that is shared in this video, and I know you might be thinking I live under a rock or something if I don't know who Jaclyn Hill is. The only thing that I could tell you about her is makeup. That's it, just that word. It's obviously not an area of expertise for me. I just barely figured out how to make my eyebrows look okay. But anyway, let's just jump straight in.
This is officially day one of Jaclyn's journey. Day one for the next 60 days of me trying to get in shape, me trying to feel better, trying to have more brain clarity, more sharpness, feeling good about myself. Again, I'm not gonna be doing daily weigh-ins because it's really not about my weight for me. It's about the way I feel. It's about my level of confidence. It's about me honestly just feeling healthy and in a good mind space. That's all I really care about. I am going from living an extremely unhealthy lifestyle to the sense of, yes, I ate good meals because Jordan would cook me good, yummy, clean meals, but it wasn't a daily thing. If I was craving Doritos in the middle of the day, I would sit there in a meeting and eat a bag of Doritos. I wouldn't care. Let's do our little weigh-in to kind of see where we're at right now, and then I will head downstairs, make my favorite green smoothie, and head off to work. So let's go.
Okay, so she said she's not gonna be weighing in every single day. We are starting off with a weigh-in, but I totally like that she mentioned that it's not just about the weight for her. It's more about improving her lifestyle, making sure that she's healthier. And this is the way that I think about it. And this is why I'm always happy to hear that someone is embarking on a weight loss journey that's not necessarily weight focused, which I know might sound totally backwards to somebody, but this is what I think about it. I think that it makes sense for somebody who knows that at least a little bit of weight loss is going to be involved in them feeling their best. And instead of having a target number that you're hoping to reach, we'll see if she sets a goal weight or not, you're just simply discovering what weight you'll end up once you improve all of the aspects of your life that you want to improve. And I talk about this in my own I gained weight over quarantine and how I plan to lose it video, that that's kind of how I am approaching things nowadays. And I really push this on my students in my course, Tried and True Weight Loss for You. If you're interested in getting some info about it, you can use the link in the description or pinned in the comments. But sometimes they'll share their homework assignments with me. And module 1 is really focused on just setting the foundation for you to start building your plan. You're not even making a plan for weight loss yet. You're just setting the foundation of what you want and making sure that you're ready for weight loss. And so one of the things is goal setting. And anytime a student shares their homework with me and one of their goals, because you can have multiple goals, is to be a certain scale weight, I challenge them every single time. It's probably a little bit annoying, but I think it's so important not to get attached to a number. Whether it's number on the scale, body fat percentage, measurement of your waist, any kind of number like that.
You know what's funny is a lot of people hate the scale. I don't really care because I know that technically I'm overweight. I know that my body fat is too high, so I'm it is what it is. Who cares? I don't really care what it says. I just care about how I look and feel. Figure yourself out, bitch. Okay, 177.6. So earlier today, I was a little bit less than that, but I also ate eggs and avocado, drank a ton of water, and now I have clothes on, and earlier I didn't. I'm wearing diamond earrings. I'm plus my diamonds weigh 10 pounds.
Very good point. I was gonna say this weigh-in probably isn't gonna be very valuable data. It's probably just for the sake of the video, I guess. I hope she's not writing this weight down or considering this her starting point, because that weight that she took in the morning is gonna be much more accurate. If you are using scale to track your progress when it comes to weight loss, you need to make sure that you're doing that under the right conditions. Otherwise, that number can be extremely misleading. And I love that she immediately was just oh, it's higher because I ate, I drank water, and I'm wearing my diamonds and a hoodie and all of that stuff. A lot of us can be so emotionally attached to the scale that we freak out, even if there's a very reasonable explanation for why that scale number went up. And even day to day, not necessarily I weighed myself first thing in the morning and now it's midday and I've eaten a bunch. Even if you are weighing yourself consistently, let's say Monday you weigh whatever, and then the next day you weigh a little bit higher and you weighed yourself under the same exact conditions at the same exact time, but the number is higher, it does not mean that you gained fat, or I shouldn't have used quotes. I meant quotations for weight, because we're talking about fat. Like fat is the thing that we're concerned about when it comes to weight loss. There's so many factors that can influence the scale. So I highly recommend, if you are in a tumultuous relationship with the scale, you can check out this video that I made all about like how to improve your relationship with the scale weight best practices, so you can decide whether or not you even want to do it. And then if you do, how to do it the right way.
Honestly, guys, it's uncomfortable. I don't care what anyone says. I put on about 45 pounds in 2 years, and it's not as easy to stand up. It's not as easy to do things. I'm out of breath all the time. And then of course, not to mention my blood work, my blood panels show that I'm very inflamed. So we gotta cut all that crap, and we're gonna start by doing that with a green smoothie.
I also want to flag something good, that she got her blood work done and is basing a lot of her transformation off of improving that. I'm planning to make a video about how health and weight loss are not the same thing. We tend to, I think, put too much value on how just losing weight will improve our health. And I always recommend having this be a conversation with your doctor. What exact health concerns are you worried about? What needs to happen for those health concerns to improve? And so it sounds like she did that here. So happy to hear that.
Woo! Choppy, choppy, choppy. Now avocado. Perfection. Squeezy, squeezy.
Hygiene.
Gotta stay clean. Now for the kale. I'm making a mess. This is something that I do not implement in my daily diet whatsoever. So I just jam pack it in my smoothie and then just suck it down. Unsweetened almond milk, because I'm not trying to do sugar up in this bitch. Put in water as well. Oh, it's splashing me. Some ice cubes.
Okay, she's hilarious. I love her, even though I'm not supposed to be commenting on the person. But this is very like confusing, chaotic smoothie energy. So she mentioned like needing to be clean, like clean eating, which is a red flag for me always. Never going to be disappointed or upset that somebody wants to get more nutrients into their diet and focus on whole nutritious foods as a base for what they're eating every day. But I talk about like a little bit more with clean eating because like I have a lot of experience with clean eating when I first got started in like the fitness industry, when I was like going through my first transformation. So I basically roast myself in this video, going through my old like really cringy diet culture-y Instagram posts that have a lot of just like hashtag clean eating in all of them. Now, the main issue that I have with clean eating is that it demonizes certain foods. And when we demonize certain foods, we have an unhealthy relationship with food. We get stressed about food. And by eliminating certain foods that we genuinely love, like if you're somebody who does not like chips, like cool, I cannot relate, but like right on, cut them out. Whatever you want to do, it's your decision. But for somebody who genuinely enjoys foods that don't fall into the clean eating category, attempting to eat clean can be just like setting yourself up for a failure. And there is no problem with eating meals that don't fall into this clean category. I often see people make the joke that like if your food doesn't have like literal dirt on it, it's clean, it's fine, it's safe to eat. I love that she said that she is putting stuff in there that she wouldn't normally be eating. I love that strategy. I personally don't love like spinach or kale, and so I mean, I like spinach in very specific situations, but spinach and kale are not my faves. So I totally used to do that. I would throw spinach and kale into a smoothie with protein and fruit. And it just like is a really easy way to get those nutrients that you wouldn't normally be getting in a way that's enjoyable to you. Last red flag was she said, we're not trying to do sugar. That's why she used unsweetened almond milk. I'm pretty sure I saw a banana chunk in there. I might be wrong, but like bananas have sugar. And of course, someone is gonna make the argument that like, oh, it's natural sugar, it's different. Kind of like the main difference is that the sugar from the banana is going to be accompanied by things like fiber and other nutrients, whereas added sugar, like you might find in sweetened almond milk, I mean, there are nutrients in almond milk, but like the sugar itself doesn't have those additional things with it. On a more basic level, like sugar is sugar. And so we don't want to be demonizing that either. But no problem with wanting to decrease your added intake intake. Actually, when I still lived in Phoenix, I was going to a gym called Mountainside Fitness, and I was a regular, so got to know like the front desk people, ended up being friends with some of them. And one of the girls said that a customer ordered a smoothie and wanted to make sure there was no banana in the smoothie because as soon as you blend the banana, the sugar in the banana will automatically get stored as fat. And we were both just like, what? What happens when you put the banana in your mouth? You chew it. Like, so he would eat a banana but wouldn't have a banana in a smoothie. Like, make it make sense. So a lot of myths are out there surrounding like fruit and specific to like sugar content and what that does for your body. Don't be afraid of fruit. Moral of the story. Also, don't be afraid of sugar.
I just got back from the office and I'm hungry. I don't know if any of you are like this. I feel like I have to like put something in my mouth every hour and a half, whether it's like a handful of almonds or if it's just like carrots. I have to constantly be snacking because I never feel like full. And when I say full, I feel good, but I'm so used to eating so many carbs and just like crap to the point that I feel like that, full. That although it doesn't feel good, I've almost kind of become addicted to it.
Okay, we just threw a little bit of shade at carbohydrates, which I also don't love, kind of a red flag as well. But this idea of like hunger and fullness is interesting, and I loved the commentary that Abby Sharp made and that I also kind of built off of in my reaction to her weight loss tips video about identifying and kind of labeling our hunger to better understand it. And that in the beginning, you may need to get to the point of uncomfortable fullness to feel satisfied from your meal, both physically and mentally. But eventually you can get to a point where like this can change over time. And I've experienced this myself. I definitely used to need to be like uncomfortably full to feel fully satisfied. And now the second I feel like any physical fullness, I'm like, I'm good. I'm gonna stop eating. I'll save this for later if I get hungry again. What I do love about this is that she is identifying habits that she has. Like, self-awareness is such an undervalued skill, meaning like a lot of people don't realize how valuable of a skill that can be. So I like that she's kind of like trying to be aware of the things that are stopping her from being successful with something like this. I actually just kind of talked about this when it came to my mindful eating video, because I think that realizations like this can take you really far when losing weight without having to think about calories or what foods you're eating and like all of that stuff as we tend to do with like a typical diet. So if you want to learn how to lose weight without having to count calories or really diet, I would check out this video.
But for now, I ordered Uber Eats. It's chicken breasts, roasted veggies, avocado. It does have brown rice in it, which I'm trying to stay away from brown rice because not only am I trying to eat clean, I'm trying to stay away from grains. And I know that grains are a very big topic as far as what people consider healthy and not healthy, but keep in mind, I'm also doing this to reduce inflammation. So I have consulted my doctor about like specifically like inflammatory things.
Okay, overall, I think we can just go ahead and declare grains as being healthy. I don't think that's really up for debate in general. When it comes to your personal needs, maybe grains aren't right for you, and that's what she said. She's kind of gone over this with her doctor and made that choice for herself. But overall, grains are definitely a part of a healthy diet. No reason to stay away from grains unless you have your own unique specific reason to.
I have an entire storage unit that is filled to the brim of clothes that as I have gained weight, I like put it all aside thinking like, well, one day when I'm 125 pounds again, I'm gonna want this. And I've come to terms, I'm never going to be 125 pounds, like skinny little no muscle Jaclyn ever again. So it's a cheers to new beginnings. So I have my family here. We're making pile of donations and sell and stuff that they're taking home, and we are clearing out the entire unit today.
I think this is a very healthy practice. I have definitely also been in the boat where I feel like I need to hold on to clothes that no longer fit me because like, oh, I might eventually be that size again. And last year for Black Friday, which is like coming up again, wild, I ordered a bunch of new pairs of jeans. My two favorite jeans are from Guess and then from Topshop, which are kind of expensive, at least for my budget currently. So I like to get them on sale. And I ordered basically a size up, just one size up in everything that I had already had or the things that I wanted, because I was like, even if I do get to a size where like the jeans that I have previously are gonna fit me, I even remember at that time of being my much like leaner self that they were still tight on me and not comfortable. And so my fashion decisions are now based more on comfort than the way that my butt looks, which was like a huge growing moment for me. Sounds embarrassing, but I literally used to make all of my fashion decisions off of like how good it made my butt look. So I'm just gonna say that clothes are meant to fit you. They are supposed to make you feel great about the way that you look, but they're also supposed to be comfortable and they are supposed to fit you. You're not supposed to fit them. So if you've stopped yourself from buying new clothes because you just wanna fit into your old clothes again, at the very least, current you deserves clothes that fit you and feel good. I'm not saying you have to get rid of your old clothes, but like, current you, if you currently don't have any, go buy yourself a comfortable, cute outfit. It'll make you feel so much better.
The last thing I want to do is work out in any way, shape, or form. I'm actually in a really bad mood. I am really stressed out right now. I'm really annoyed by some people in my life right now, my family. Mixing business and family is not always the easiest thing, and I'm in such a bad mood. I want to get on the couch in my comfy clothes and I want to eat a bowl of pasta. That's what I want to do, but I'm forcing myself. I got online and I looked up benefits of a 20-minute walk, and there's so many amazing health benefits. So I'm like, I'm gonna get on the treadmill, even if I'm pissy the entire time, just get a little walk in before I end my day.
I love that she just Googled like benefits of a 20-minute walk to convince herself to do it. Another like fun little strategy is to, if you're into this, like just pull up a motivational video on YouTube. Like I used to listen to like motivational like podcasts when I would lift weights.
I've been on here for only 12 minutes at 3 incline, 3.5 speed, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I have sweat dripping down my chest and back. I'm so out of breath. If I didn't have makeup on, you would see how insanely red my face is. And it's not improving my mood. Google is a liar. I'm still in a bad mood. I'm so out of shape. But at least I'm doing it. Okay, 20 minutes. I'll do the cool down. Hopefully, no one's mean to me for how out of shape I am.
I'll start somewhere, Books.
I would not typically work out with makeup on like this. Because I got home, I was pissed off. I was like, fine. Get on the treadmill. My mood is not better. It's been 21 minutes. Well, it is. I'm smiling now.
There you go.
You've probably heard the saying before, but like nobody usually ever regrets doing a workout. So sometimes you just need to like distract yourself. So when I can remember, like, especially when I used to work at my old like office job, I picked my gym next to the office because I knew that like I could just pop over there on my way home. And like I knew if once I got home, I was not going to leave again to go back to the gym. So I always would work out right after work and then I would drive home. It worked out because then traffic would have died down and the drive home would have been more pleasant. But sometimes I would literally sit in the parking lot for like 20 minutes because I just like didn't want to go. And a lot of the time my strategy, especially if I'm at home and I have to leave to go work out, I would distract myself because like I could tell my brain was like talking myself out of it. I would like put on a podcast. I would call somebody like as I'm going out the door. So like I'm focused on the phone call and I just kind of like drive to the gym on autopilot or get out of the car and like walk into the gym finally. And actually one of those super cringy things that we used to say, because I was a personal trainer at 24 Hour Fitness before I started FrumpyFit, one of the things that they would say and tell us to say to clients to like make them feel better about like making it, or like prospective clients, like when we were selling something to them, we would tell them like the heaviest weight in the gym is the front door and we're so proud of you for making it in today. Like something like, I mean, it's true. It's true. It's hard to walk in the front door. So good on her for working out even though she didn't want to. And although that phrase was cringy and often used in a predatory manner at 24 Hour Fitness, trying to sell people things, it's true.
It's day 2. I'm exhausted. I don't know why, because I got 8 hours of sleep last night, but I'm pretty sure it's because I was dreaming about food all night long, and I'm not even trying to be funny, you guys. Okay, so I had a dream that Kourtney Kardashian invited me over to her house, and I was like, this is weird. Why am I going over to Kourtney Kardashian's house? Let's do it. Travis Barker was there, and I began to freak out. I was like, oh my God, I've been a fan of Travis Barker since I was a little girl. This is crazy. Then I looked over, and there was Megan Fox and MGK, and I was like, what the hell is going on? I looked over, Kim Kardashian was there, like the whole family, and I was just like, what is my purpose of being here? And then Kourtney walked up to me and said, thanks so much for coming to the barbecue. I said, bitch, barbecue where? I looked over to my right, and I'm not kidding, there was a full-on table that was just covered in food. There was hot dogs, there was corn dogs, there was literally like huge, juicy ribs, mac and cheese, and I was like, bitch, this is why I'm here. No longer did I care about who I was surrounded by. I was just like living my best. But in my dream, I didn't get to actually eat. I woke up before I ate.
I feel like I've never eaten in a dream. Has anyone ever like actually remembered them eating in a dream? Is that one of those things that you just like don't do in dreams? I don't know. When I was prepping for my first bodybuilding competition, I accidentally fell asleep at the end of yoga class. My degree is in exercise science, and so part of graduating is you actually need to take like certain activity credits in order to graduate, and so I picked yoga. That's why I was doing yoga in the middle of a bodybuilding prep. Super beneficial and enjoyable though. Glad I did it. So at the end you do like savasana where you're just like laying there, and I accidentally fell asleep and was dreaming about Cheez-Its. And then I do remember having a second dream about Cheez-Its at one point. So I know exactly how she's feeling. But that's the problem that I have with like more extreme dieting, and my definition of extreme may be different than other people's definition of extreme, like people who do like multiple day or like week water fasts, like that's very extreme. But I think that clean eating can fall into that extreme category very easily. You get so obsessed with the food that you're not allowed to have that you're like dreaming about food. Like that's why the post that I share in that, and where I'm reacting to my own Instagram post, that was from that a lot of that was from that bodybuilding prep where I'm like falling asleep and dreaming about Cheez-Its. That never happened during my second bodybuilding prep or ever again, where I'm like dreaming about food that I'm not allowed to have, because I was allowed to have anything that I wanted aside from that period of time when I was prepping for that first competition, and my coach led me astray.
All right, so 2 soft-boiled eggs for me. Today is a Tuesday, which is my creative day. Tuesday and Thursdays are what we consider creative days, meaning I'm not in the office. I'm about to film a video. Jordan's gonna film tonight, and it sucks because typically on Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are normally the nights where me and Jordan like to go out to dinner, because like I do my makeup, my hair, I film, I feel like, ooh, so pretty, and go eat pasta and cheese and all that jazz. So no dinner out for me tonight, which is gonna be a struggle, but I actually have a photo shoot in a week and we need to do my measurements right now. It works out great because then I'll have my measurements, and in 60 days I can look back and see if I lost any inches on this bitch.
So a couple of things that I want to share here. Measurements are another great way to track your progress. There's so many different ways to track your progress, and so it's a good idea to have, like, if you're comfortable with it, having a mixture of ways that you're tracking your progress, because when the scale isn't showing results, maybe the measurements will, maybe photos will, like something else will show progress, because just because it's not showing up on the scale doesn't mean you're not making progress. And we kind of like stopped here as they're taking her neck measurement, and so I just want to share this really quick piece of anecdotal whatever. A student in my course was sharing her measurements and how they've changed over four or 5 months. I can't remember the timeline, but she took all of her measurements, including her neck measurement, and the first like month or so, the only measurement that really decreased was her neck, and then after that her waist measurement started decreasing. And so this is a common like fat loss pattern that I see. It's kind of what I experience as well. Is it just depends kind of where you're at in terms of how much body fat you have. If I'm at a higher weight relative to me and my experience, I do carry that a little bit, like, you know, we got this like here, I'm a little bit fuller in my face, and so that's the first place that I lose it when I start losing weight. I remember when I was prepping for my second bodybuilding competition, I started my prep when I was away for the summer working at a summer program for a college that was like part of my old job. And when I came back to my gym 2 months later, people were like, oh my gosh, your face looks so different, because that's the first place that I kind of lose it from. So if you are taking measurements and you're noticing nothing else is changing besides your neck, that's still a good sign. And the second thing is her comment about going out to dinner. It's totally okay to take a break from going out. If you're in the midst of figuring out what your diet needs to look like and what's gonna work for you, totally cool to take a break. But I really think that it's possible and that you should try to keep your diet as enjoyable as possible and as close to your normal as possible. If you go out for date night every single Tuesday, like, do that and figure out how you can make that work in your new strategy. There are definitely ways to go out to eat and still stick to your results. I actually have a whole entire video about it.
I'm feeling so frustrated right now after doing the measurements. There's something about it that's just very discouraging to me, and I don't want it to be discouraging, but it is. It is what it is. That's part of it, right? Moving on. But what sucks is that when I get like stressed about something or bothered or annoyed, one of the first things I want to do is just like eat comfort food. And I don't eat a lot. I just want like a little bit. Like that's like my thing. Like right now I'm craving macaroni and cheese so bad. I cannot even begin to tell you how much I'm craving macaroni and cheese. It's insane. I want to break that habit. It's not healthy mentally or physically to be sitting here and eating macaroni and cheese right now because I'm upset about something. That's ridiculous. I'm not even technically really hungry right now. I'm just craving macaroni and cheese, and I need to be harder on myself about that and learn to cut cravings and say no to things.
The craving thing can be a little bit tricky, and I am in favor of honoring your cravings. However, I feel like there's two different kinds of cravings, and it may take a little while for you to figure out like what kind of craving is happening in the moment. But there are cravings that are not gonna go away. Like you really legitimately want it, especially if you are embarking on a restrictive diet. Those cravings are probably not gonna go away. She keeps mentioning pasta or like noodles over and over and over again. So I think that she should definitely figure out how to have some pasta. Otherwise, she's kind of setting herself up for failure here. But then there's the other kind of side of the spectrum where it's like, okay, I'm watching TV, I see a commercial for Taco Bell, and now I want Taco Bell. Like that is less, in my opinion, of a like legitimate craving, and meaning just like a craving that's not gonna go away. So if it's a craving that you don't think is gonna go away, you need to just have that thing sooner rather than later. It's probably gonna set you up for success, especially because she's saying she just wants like a little bit. If that's how you feel, that's incredible. Give yourself a little bit and move on, no big deal. If it's a craving, and so in this situation, she's saying it's just because I'm stressed and anxious, I think it's okay to work through this and not give into that craving because she's identifying, again, she's doing this self-awareness thing that I really like, where she knows that like, it's only because she's stressed. Although I do think that she should probably have some pasta soon. But this is how I look at that. If you know the craving is gonna go away eventually, then don't tell yourself, no, I'm absolutely not gonna have that. What I would do is I would say, not right now. Like if you still want macaroni tomorrow, she literally dreamt about macaroni, now she wants macaroni. Like I think she should probably have it soon. But the way that she could approach this is like, if I still want macaroni tomorrow, I'm gonna have my macaroni and then I'm gonna move on. And that can help teach you what is going to be like a more legitimate craving and what's like more fleeting, because then the next day you might have totally forgotten about it, or if you still want it, then you know that that's a craving that you should honor. So not no, it's not right now, but the thing is that if you want it later, you give it to yourself.
So instead I'm going to eat some chicken salad on lettuce. I'm just trying to train my body to stop making unhealthy choices. That's where I'm at on day 2. I'm feeling discouraged just because of the fact that I thought that I was gonna be able to hang on a lot longer than this before I started feeling like, oh my God, I'm craving things. But I genuinely haven't had anything since Sunday afternoon. I haven't had sugar, dairy, or carbs in like exactly 48 hours. So I guess this would be the time kind of where I'm like, I'll check back later. The chicken salad that I had earlier really helped, really held me over, and I felt good after I ate it because I ate it with tomatoes and a bunch of lettuce. I feel great right now.
This is also totally a part of like my mindful eating practice. I highly recommend watching that video. She is learning and observing how she feels in relation to food. So now she knows that if she's cravey or just hungry, that having a good source of protein and veggies is gonna make her feel good and satisfied. And once you have that evidence and you've observed that, it's easier to make that decision again in the future. Also weird, we literally ate chicken salad last night, but we had sandwiches and salad. So it was like a chicken salad sandwich and a salad on the side.
Day 3, and I'm feeling discouraged. You know what? Okay, here's the deal. This is what happened, okay? I decided to weigh myself this morning. It's only day 3. I didn't think that anything would be different, okay? I was just like curious, you know? I'm like, been eating so clean. What's the scale gonna say? And it said that I gained 2 pounds and 0.4% body fat.
Yeah, but you're wearing all your clothes.
But I still refuse to believe that. As soon as I woke up, after I pooped. So just seeing those numbers, I'm like, come on. Like, that can't be true. I did not gain 2 pounds.
Perfect example of what I said earlier, actually. Thank you, Jaclyn, for setting that up. You cannot like make decisions about your progress off after 3 days. You just can't. And in that scale video that I mentioned before, I do recommend weighing daily, but the reason for that is to see how much the scale fluctuates and that you can't get usable data from those individual measurements. If you are weighing yourself frequently, it's beneficial to like keep track of all of those in a way that's easy to see. I know like Fitbit, I don't know, a lot of like apps, I can't remember which one of those I'm trying to reference, but if you plug your daily weights in, it's Fitbit. The week, it'll show you your average for the week. There's also a website that one of my course students mentioned. There's like a website out there where you plug everything in and it gives you your like rolling average, which is a much more valuable data point than like just one single number on the scale. So when I was still working with one-on-one clients, I would only look at their daily measurements and on the scale in order to get their average. And then I only ever compared their average to the previous week's average and, you know, multiple previous weeks' averages in order to evaluate their progress. Jordan Sayat, this is kind of the strategy that he's mentioned before, is he compares like, let's say today's the 28th that I'm filming this. We compare our weight from October 28th to September 28th. So you can compare like those 2 days to each other because it's been like a whole month. Not my favorite strategy, but could potentially work as well.
Hi guys, it is day 5. I didn't do too much vlogging yesterday. It was such a chaotic day. I'm feeling good. I'm disappointed in myself that in the past 5 days, I've only made time to get on my treadmill once. At least I've been taking care of myself in the sense of what I am eating, but I have not been taking any of my supplements, and I have not worked out other than one time, which I'm a little disappointed about that. I need to be better about making time for myself, like getting up an hour earlier to do that. I always choose sleep over anything, over makeup, over workouts. I choose sleep. I'm feeling great. great. Like I have good energy. I know it's only been like technically 4 days, but I genuinely feel like my brain is more clear and I'm sleeping better, which is amazing.
I love this. Another way to track your progress is just how you feel, and that's a very important like metric, even though we can't really throw a number on that necessarily. So I'm glad that she's focusing on the wins, even though she is feeling a little bit discouraged. What I see very often is that we make this plan of how we're going to lose weight, and then when we don't do it, we're disappointed in ourselves, we're discouraged, and all we do is we sit there and we're like, okay, I need to make this plan work, when in actuality, maybe the right thing to do is to change the plan. So I'm not saying that she should be changing her expectations for exercise. It very well may be that she does need to make more time for exercise and that she's been kind of slacking. But if you are just in this long period of time where you just cannot stick to the plan that you've made for yourself, change the plan. Figure out something that's going to work better for you. There's no one way to lose weight for like everybody, but also for you specifically. There's a bunch of different ways you can go about this, so don't stress about doing it a specific way.
He's making me a breakfast sandwich. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm just eating breakfast for the first time. I've just drank water all day. Ezekiel English muffin with some sort of like sausage patty, an egg, and a slice of cheddar cheese because I'm going crazy today, so it's a dairy day.
Yeah, Karen.
That was the best breakfast I have had the entire week. It completely changed my mood and I am so happy. And for the first time, I feel like my stomach is like filled with love. So now I'm gonna want it every day, although I shouldn't have that cheese every day, but holy crap.
I know she mentioned that grains are iffy, and that was an Ezekiel English muffin. So for her health reasons specifically, she's wanting to stay away from grain. She's also not eating like dairy or carbs, I think she also mentioned. But if it weren't for that, I think that that's like a totally fine breakfast to have like frequently. You've got protein, you've got carbs, you've got fat. I think that's balanced. And the thing is that all of your meals have to be taken in the context of your entire diet throughout the day or like for the whole week. So even if that wasn't like an optimal meal, it's okay as long as it makes sense in like the grand scheme of things. I am very happy that she had this meal and that she was feeling more mentally satisfied from that than her other meals, because I think she needed that.
There is literally nothing in the entire world that I'd rather do less than get onto that thing. I'd rather sit with my face pointed at a wall and watch paint dry right now. So even if I'm pissed off about it the whole time, I'm gonna walk on this for at least 15 minutes. I'd rather be doing my makeup and going out for like a lovely little date night, but this is what I'm doing. I've only been on here for about 12 minutes, but my ass and the back of my legs are on fire. I'm dripping sweat down my stomach. So at least I got on here and did that instead of making myself a cocktail and sitting on the couch with a bag of chips. I'm so happy right now.
Why?
Because we discovered these and they come in like a million different flavors and they're grain free. It's made with cassava flour and coconut flour. And they're crunchy as can be because I love a dip. I love salsa, I love guacamole. I'm trying to stay away from chips. So now I get to have my dips.
Glad she found a chip that's gonna work for her because it doesn't have the grain in it. I think she would benefit from exploring different types of exercise. I get the vibe that she would probably like have a lot more fun with something like kickboxing or maybe like dancing. That might make the exercise for her less painful and it would be just as beneficial. One of the biggest like shifts that a lot of my students have in my course is that they are given permission to get creative with their workouts. And so it's so gratifying for me to have somebody like post in our community that like they finally found like an exercise strategy that they love and they're actually having fun doing. Like, I want that for everybody, including you, Jaclyn.
I am making a TikTok recipe. I think they're calling it like Asian cucumber dish, but it's going all around and it's cucumbers, soy sauce, garlic, chili oil, but we're using chili garlic sauce.
We'll probably skip that.
Honey, sesame seeds, and
Apple cider vinegar.
I'm gonna do half coconut aminos and half soy sauce because soy sauce, even when it's less sodium, is so high in sodium and I should not be consuming that right now. Coconut aminos is a lot healthier for you and it tastes super similar. So I'm gonna do half and half. Probably one of the only people who loves it when my fingers smell like garlic and onion. I like sit there and like watch movies and just obsessively sniff my fingers. It's so gross, but I don't care, I love it. That butt is big, a big fat ass. Oh, yes.
More than that.
Honey. You're supposed to put sesame seeds in it. And chili pepper flakes. Like all the good stuff that's just like chilling at the bottom of the bowl.
More salt? Yeah. Okay.
That little bit of extra soy sauce would have made it a lot better. This is a nice snack. I love this. I love trying new things. Sign out.
That sounds really good. I love cucumbers. Like, cucumbers are one of my favorite vegetables ever. I think I'm gonna have to try this TikTok recipe because I hadn't seen it before. Some recipes on TikTok are weird, but this one looks really good. Probably not gonna be incredibly satisfying though. If you're having this as a snack to like hold you over, I would probably add fat or protein in the mix somehow, like whether it's like a side of something or you also like throw something else in there. Like, I imagine that like throwing some chicken breast in there would be actually like pretty good. I'm like actually eating it with a fork instead of your fingers, like kind of more of like a mini meal. I have a whole video about like how to make your snacks more beneficial for you for weight loss if you want to check that out.
Good morning, you guys. It is day 6 and Saturday. It's actually not morning at all. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon because we've just been laying in bed all morning. We're making breakfast. I am so obsessed with this breakfast, you guys. Yesterday I ate it and I just felt like it put me in the best place for the entire day. And I made such good food decisions for the rest of the day. Yay! Because this filled me up so much. So now I'm like, I can't have this every morning, but it's Saturday, so I'm having it again today.
If it sets you up to make really good food decisions the rest of the day, this sounds like an amazing breakfast. I hope she like eats this more often instead of not letting herself eat it. I mean, except for the fact that like she, you know, the grain, unless those are like grain-free English muffins, I don't know. Because health is a factor as well. But that's like what you're aiming for, is finding something, especially like with a breakfast. It's about finding meals, snacks, different things that you can eat on a regular basis and like count on them and know how your body's gonna respond, know how it's gonna make you feel, like hopefully good, and how it fits into your day overall. So whether it's this or something else, I want her to find a breakfast like this that makes her feel like this, because that would make it so much easier for her to be successful.
Posted like a quick little Insta story of my breakfast that I was eating. The DMs just are they're just so annoying and so frustrating. People just being like, this is so not healthy, Jaclyn. Oh my God, this is why you're fat. This is the way you eat. And I'm like, can we not do this? Like, it's just so hard for me to wrap my mind around people like this because I'm just so not that person. I don't associate myself with people like that, but putting yourself out there on the internet, it's like you're forced to deal with it. Do you only want to see me just eating like dry lettuce? Like I'm not, again, doing a crash diet. I'm trying to actually change my life. So as opposed to ordering McDonald's in the morning, you know, on a Saturday morning, this is what I'm doing. And it's a great step in the right direction. It's frustrating. I mean, it's not like gonna drag me down or anything like that, but still, it's just like, be nice. Shut up.
Totally agree. Preach. It's so hard to separate yourself from like comments like that. But I feel like once you have enough, and I'm just speaking on like, I'm dealing with my own journey to you know, handling comments from people, even like friends and family who have like opinions that I would think know me well enough to know better. You just have to have faith in what you're doing and know who you are as a person and like just always do your best. That's all you can do. That was so cryptic and irrelevant and weird. I'm sorry.
What's up?
What are we gonna eat tonight?
Whatever you would like.
No.
No.
What are we actually gonna eat? I'm really hungry, so should I do ground turkey lettuce tacos or should I order sushi? Because I'm hungry. And the whole time that I sat there and I said like, I hate this. And I just felt like you were playing your video game and you just weren't listening to me. And I feel so stupid now that the camera's on. And you know what's crazy is the food is literally the thing that adds these emotions. Like if I was taking care of myself, I wouldn't feel like this. It's like, it just makes it causes me more anxiety and more stress and more depression. And it makes me feel like bloated and derealized and foggy and I don't get good sleep and it sucks.
I was kind of laughing when she said like, what are we gonna eat tonight? My husband and I, literally, that's us every single night. So what are we gonna eat tonight? Like, we've just been we both are so busy right now. Like, we don't even think about what we're gonna eat until it's the moment that we need to eat. Actually, I'm gonna have lunch soon and I'm probably just gonna have that leftover chicken salad that we had last night. But I'm bummed that she's so stressed about food, and obviously it wasn't just the food, it was like something that was going on with her partner. I think that's who it is. I hope she can release some of the stress that she's feeling related to food, because I think some of it she's putting on herself unnecessarily with this need to like eat clean all the time and like be perfect. But I think some of it also just kind of comes with the territory when you're trying to break these habits that you've had for such a long time that have gotten you to where you are. It's hard. to break out of those, even if you are being flexible with yourself. So besides a sneak peek of like next week at the end of her video, that's pretty much it. Overall, really interesting. I enjoyed reacting to someone like going through it in the moment. I wish I could help. Not that she's asking for or needs my help. Everyone has their own journey, and if you have to make some mistakes along the way to ultimately get to what I hope she'll get to is a less stressful, more carefree, more flexible strategy for weight loss, like I think that's okay. But maybe I'll follow up once I'm not gonna react to them every single week, obviously, but I am gonna keep up with this, meaning like probably once there's at least like 5 or 6 of the, wait, she said she's doing it for 60 days, I think. So I'll probably check back at the end to see how it all went. Maybe we can do another reaction to that. But as usual, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here. You can also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. Your support means the absolute world to me, as always. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.